How might nature inspire your own art? Artists often receive them in locations they live or travel to, from rural landscapes to bustling cities. Why do they add charm to places like this? And what meaning did these places and the places that motivate you give to the exhibition? So in this chapter, we look at the painters who painted familiar places close to home and others who were attracted to distant places. Among them, Henri Matisse and Andre Derain spent time in southern France experimenting with ways to capture the region's gorgeous light. And Jasper John's Francis Corpsey on a laser fall of the Hudson River Valley, and George Below on the energy of a growing New York City. Hello, this is Uncle Andy from Let's Art. Today, I will share the stories of Henri Matisse and Andre Derain, who were inspired by the nature. Artists often leave their studios and travel to new places for inspiration. In the summer of 1905, Henri Matisse left Paris for the French village of Collioure. Then, a quiet fishing town, Collioure nestles between the Mediterranean Sea and the Pyrenees Mountains, close to the Spanish border. The landscape and lifestyle there were very different from Paris. The brilliant light in the south of France, reflected off the sea, captivated Matisse. Once Derain said, "We were always intoxicated with color, with words that speak of color, and with the sun that makes colors alive." During this period, many painters, including them, discovered the beauty of light provided by the nature in exotic places. After settling with his family in a hotel, Matisse invited his friend, the young painter Andre Derain, to join him in Collioure. Matisse and Derain worked every day, often painting side by side around the village. They sketched the boats in the harbor, the fish market, and nearby the Pyrenees. They even made pictures of each other. Using paints straight from the tube with a little mixing of pigments, they applied vibrant, often unexpected colors directly to their canvases. Their collaboration led to a new freedom in creating art, the use of color to express the feeling of a place. In the fall of 1905, Matisse and Derain showed their paintings at important exhibitions in Paris, called the Salon d'Automne. People were shocked by the bold brushstrokes and strange color combinations. Many laughed at the paintings. One art critic nicknamed the artist Fauves, the French words for wild beast, because of their expressive brushstrokes and loud colors. This was the birth of Fauvism. In short, they have become beasts regardless of their intentions. Matisse and Derain inspired many artists to explore color in new ways. Matisse and Derain do not show Collioure as it looked in real life. Instead, the artists convey the intensity and the energy of Collioure's blazing sunshine by painting with the dazzling colors. Turning from the sea in mountain at Collioure, Derain painted olive groves with the steep hills of Pyrenees in the background. Notice how Derain used the variety of brushstrokes to paint this rugged landscape. Examine how the twisting red lines form the trunks of the olive trees. Derain's bold, separated stripes of blues, grays, and greens creates a rhythmic patterns of leaves ready to wave in a breeze. Broad, sweeping strokes of color form the mountains rising behind the trees and reaching to the sky. These lines and patterns make the paintings feel alive and moving. In this way, Henri Matisse couldn't believe how lucky I was when I realized that I could see this light again every morning. He opened up about how light affects the paintings. Matisse enjoyed staying warmer places during the winter times, and he liked to watch sunlight shimmering on the sea. After his summer with the Derain, he returned to Collioure and vacationed at other seaports on the French coast of the Mediterranean Sea. He also visited Italy, North Africa, and Tahiti. Beast of the Sea is a memory of his visit to the South Sea. Many years after creating his Fauve paintings, Matisse developed a new form of art, the paper cutout. Still fascinated by the power of color, the artist devoted himself to cutting painted papers and arranging them in design. Instead of drawing on outline and filling in color, "I'm drawing directly in color," he said. Matisse was a drawing with the scissors. What shapes do you recognize in Beast of the Sea? Find shapes that remind you of playful fish, senior seals, curvy crow, floating seahorse, spiral shells, waving seaweed. After cutting shape that reminded him of tropical sea, Matisse arranged the pieces vertically over rectangles of yellows, greens, and purples to suggest the watery depth of the undersea world. Now, create a colorful collage. Use colored papers, or like Matisse, make your own colored papers in one color. Paint on heavy cardboard, so the paper doesn't curl as it dries. Next, find a theme for your work. But these days, if you want to keep a notepad, do you really need to keep it? Like Matisse, choose a view from your window or a memory from a vacation. Here, I will apply what I want through my imagination. Here, I will apply what I want through my imagination. And please don't do the same and use your wild imagination. Use scissors to cut the paper into different shapes that remind you of the places. Arrange your cutout shapes on a large piece of colored paper. Move the piece around the experiment with the layering until you are satisfied with the design. Then glue your shapes in place. In fact, this various arrangement process is important. However, if I were to give you another tip here, think about the topic you want to draw. Let's say you travel far like Matisse. If you have ever been to places like Guam, Thailand, or Hawaii, recall those memories. When creating the cutouts, Matisse hung them on the walls and the ceiling of his apartment in Nice, France. Thanks to my new art, I have a lush garden all around me, and I'm never alone, he said. So, that's all for now, and if you like this video, please push like and the subscribe button. Thank you.